Hello everybody, this is Numericals, and in this lecture we are going to discuss some more examples on displacement. So the question is the particle was initially at A and finally it was at C, then find the displacement of the particle. So it is given a particle is at A, which coordinate is given 2, 0, and finally it goes at C. Okay, so we have to find the displacement of the particle. This is very basic and simple question. So since you know the position, you have understood what is the position. So the position of particle A is given initial, that is initial position of the particle is given xi is equal to 2I cap, because the coordinate is 2, 0. That means it is on positive x-axis and the distance is distance from the origin is 2. So the position of A is 2I cap, that is the initial position of the particle, and the final position of the particle is C, and the coordinates of C is given, that is 2, 3. So the x final, that means the final position of the particle is 2I cap plus 3j cap, because this is 2 and this is 3. So this is 2, 3. So 2 on x-axis and 3 on y-axis. So the 2, 3, that means 2I cap plus 3j cap. Now we have the initial position and the final position. So the displacement is final position minus initial position, that means change in position. So the x final is 2I cap plus 3j cap, 2I cap plus 3j cap, and the x initial is 2I cap, that means 2I cap. Now 2I cap plus 3j cap minus 2I cap, 2I cap is cancelled out. So the displacement is equal to 3j cap. That means the particle moves a displacement of 3 meter on positive x-axis. Okay, j cap means positive x-axis. Now we'll see an important note regarding displacement. So the displacement is path independent. Displacement is path independent. It only depends on initial and final position. So the displacement doesn't depend on path. Okay, it only depends on initial and final position. Okay, so this is very important note regarding displacement. Now moving to the next problem. Now to understand the previous note, that is displacement is only depends on final position. Displacement only depends on initial and final position. It doesn't depend on path. So to understand the concept, the previous note, we will take a problem, that is, if we have 3 particles and all starts moving from point O and go to the point C. Okay, but their paths are different. Particle 1 takes a path OAC and particle 2 takes a path OBC, while the particle 3 direct goes from O to C. Arrange the magnitude of displacement of all 3 particles in increasing order. So basically we have to arrange the magnitude of displacements of all the 3 particles, and these 3 particles take different paths to cover a distance, that means from O to C. Okay, first we talk about particle 1. So we are given the particle 1 takes a path OAC. Okay, this is path OAC, that means O to A, then A to C. So we have to find the displacement. That means O to A to C means the initial position is O, the initial position is O and the final position is C. If it takes a path OAC, then the initial position is O and the final position is C. So the displacement of particle 1 D1 is equal to final position minus initial position, So the x final is, for the particle 1, x final is I plus half j cap, because the position of C is the final position for the particle 1. The position of C is the final position of the particle 1. So the position of C is, since this is x-axis and this is y-axis, this distance is on x-axis and this distance is on y-axis. So the position of the C is 1 of I cap plus half of j cap. So this is the final position of particle 1 and this is the initial position of the particle 1, that is origin. So the 0I cap plus 0 j cap. So the displacement of particle 1 is equal to I cap plus half j cap. Similarly, for the particle 2, it takes a path OBC, that means O to B then B to C. So the initial position of the particle 2 is O and the final position of the particle is C. Since displacement only depends on the initial and final position, so we have to take care of that initial and final position only. Okay, so the final position for the particle 2 is also I plus half j cap, because C is the final position for particle 2 and initial position for particle 2 is also origin. So the 0 I cap plus 0 j cap, that means 0. So the displacement of for the particle 2 is equal to I cap plus half j cap. Now consider particle 3. It takes a path O to C, direct O to C. So for particle 3 also the final position is C, that means I plus half j cap, and the initial position is origin, that means 0 I cap 0 j cap. So the displacement 3 is equal to I cap plus half j cap, that is final position for the particle 3, and this is origin, that is initial position for the particle 3. So the displacement 3 is equal to I cap plus half j cap. So now it is very clear that the displacement of these three particles are exactly equal. So the magnitude of displacement of these three particles is equal, that means mod of d1 is equal to mod of d2 is equal to mod of d3. Now hence it is proved that displacement is path independent, it doesn't depend on path taken. Okay, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.